You may not be aware of this, but there are a ton of automotive brands that are actually names of cities here in the US. So as I sit here in New York City thinking, well, there's Blazer, Missouri, I could drive there, or maybe Mustang, Oklahoma, or Lincoln, Nebraska, or Silverado, California. That would be a long ride from New York City. But what about Accord, New York? So we take the 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid and drive it from New York City to Accord, New York, and let's see if Accord, New York actually acknowledges the fact that they're the same name. From what I can see online, it looks like there's an Accord Village that has quite a few cool things. Let's go for a ride. There's a lot of new updates for the 2023 Honda Accord, including a hybrid and a gasoline engine. So we are in the hybrid because it gets the best fuel economy and has better performance. Lots of changes you can tell right away by looking. You've got a new exterior appearance, which is great. A lot of changes for the Honda Accord on the exterior as well as the interior. Remember, they've been selling these vehicles for 50 years. 50 years of Honda Accord is crazy. So we are told that there is a brochure from the 70s that is up in Accord, New York, but we'll find that out. We're gonna go hunt that down and you're gonna join us along the trek. But in the meantime, I wanted to go through this vehicle. It has two motors. You've got the engine up front and you've got the electric motor, which again, partners together for hybrid propulsion, which means you get better fuel economy, better performance, and instant reaction, which I think is one of the massive improvements when it comes to the Honda Accord. Not that it was bad before, but this is so much better. Now we're driving Honda Accord Hybrid Sports. So this has the head-up display. I'm currently using Google Maps, and it's showing the Google Map right here in front of me, which is good. And if you've ever driven in New York City, you gotta know the roads, because if you don't know the roads, and I used to live here for about 10 years, if you don't know the roads, you can find yourself in trouble, and still, it's good to use the Map Assist. Google is built into this vehicle, which is nice. I'm using a wireless Apple CarPlay, but there's also Android Auto, so you can use either one. So you're probably wondering about fuel economy. We're looking at 32 miles to the gallon combined. You've got a 5-seater car that has 2 child safety seats. These are all things that people want. And by the way, I've reviewed both the hybrid and the non-hybrid on our Car Coach Reports channel, and we do appreciate the support. Check it out, especially if you want a deeper dive. We're gonna have a little fun today. We're gonna see how all of the systems work, including the safety systems, which are really important. If you live in the New York City area or in the Northeast, you know we're gonna go right by one of my favorite stops. And no, it's not a car dealership. I did all that yesterday. It's Woodbury Commons. It's a premium outlet. Love outlet stores. Nothing like getting a deal. That's all about value, which again comes back to this Honda Accord. So we're going to drive across the George Washington Bridge and go up the Palisades and make our way north toward West Nyack. A little bit of shopping therapy at Lululemon here at Woodbury Commons. Lots of trunk space, huge trunk space in the new Honda Accord. Got 2 bags in here. One's my camera gear, as you can see. A little bit of shopping. I think I got some more room for some more shopping here. Lots of big storage, much more than the previous generation. So we just had a pit stop at Woodbury Commons. I had to change because I really like this new deal I just got. There's a lot of good deals here. Very nice premium outlet. Now we're gonna get back on the highway and head out to Rough Cut Brewing in just outside of Accord, New York. This is going to be a lot of back roads, because when you think of New York, you typically think of, oh, New York City, lots of concrete. New York is full of beautiful mountains and all kinds of different elevations. It's very hilly up here, which is what I like about the Hudson area. My kids went to school in Poughkeepsie at Marist College, so I was done this run from Buffalo back and forth. It's about 5 hours, and we're going to do that drive. I really like the fact that we're going to Accord, New York, because I'm really curious how much they're into this. So we're going to find that out. We're going to stop at a couple different places. But along the way, I have really got the opportunity to experience some of the new technologies that are here in the Accord. The new screen is great. The navigation system has been excellent. It's been spot on. It tells you even when you're leaving a state and entering a new state, which I do appreciate as well. The new controls on this new honeycomb grille I like. It's pretty hot out right now, so I can adjust the vents to where I'd like them to be. Really easy to use, climate control, wireless charging, wired charging, USB, USB-C, tons of charge ports, tons of storage in the door. I made a stop to pick up some water as we make our trek up to Accord. I'm really liking this vehicle. Tons of storage in the back as well, 2 child safety seats, and the trunk just continues to impress how much bigger it is than it was in the previous generation. So we're getting off at the Poughkeepsie exit for the Mid-Hudson Bridge. This is the bridge that'll take you across the Hudson. If you're ever up in the Poughkeepsie area, make a point of stopping in the state park there, and walking across the old bridge is really beautiful. The Hudson has so much cool history, and of course it was a major waterway from the north to the south. So really impressive stop and a nice walk. Great place to ride your bikes as well. So as we get off this exit, which I've gotten off a bazillion times to go see my kids, we're back out in the country, and I barely use any fuel. And I'm pretty heavy-footed, anyone that knows me. Leadfoot, my nickname. We got about 34 miles to the gallon. Pretty good. I will note that some of the cool safety features, when you step on the brakes of the vehicle, the brakes appear on your safety features right here in the center screen between the 2 gauges. I like little details like that. Hey, you're on the brakes, where you are in the lanes. All these little details are great. You can change all that. You can remove it all. There's all kinds of additional information. You just go into the different settings and set what you're looking for. Again, you can have your power flow information if you want, your gauge displays. All of that can be changed in the center of the gauges. I'm liking everything about this. Also, when you're in the city, there is a hybrid eDrive. You can press that button, and now I'm in EV only mode. So if you're thinking, oh, I'd like an electric vehicle, well, you can have the best of both worlds by having a hybrid. You get the gas for when you're on the highway, and now I'm in an EV mode, and it's silent. Right outside of Accord, New York, is something they claim to be the world's largest garden gnome. And that is at Kelder Farms. Well, now that we're off the highway, we're out into these curvy roads. I put the Accord Hybrid Sport into sport mode to see what it can do. I do like the grippy steering wheel. It's really nice and precise. You're not going to see dramatic changes. You're going to see shift point changes, and that's really important to access your power as you need it. 0 to 60, here we go. In sport mode. That's about 6 seconds. Nice. You can watch it takes off pretty good. Good pickup. There's no lag. A lot of times when you have hybrids, they're just terrible off the line. This one is really nice. When you're driving a vehicle like this, the handling is important in sport mode because it gives you a feel for how it handles on the street on your everyday basis, getting into parking spots. This vehicle is super easy to drive. The steering's a little bit tighter than it was in the previous generation, but I really like it. I mean, it's really nicely done. Big improvements. They listen to you as the customer. So I have told people that if you've got a Honda Accord, or most brands do, but if you have a Honda product, don't send a message to the dealer. Send a message to the corporate office. The corporate office will be listening because they want to hear from you what you think the vehicle should have or doesn't have. And they may not be able to comply, but you know what? They won't know if you don't give your opinion. And I think that's really important. Brands want to know about this. They want your loyalty. They want you to return. And don't forget, if you're buying a Honda and you own a Honda, there's a loyalty discount. It's not a lot, but hey, a few bucks off the sticker price these days is good. If you're leaving one brand and coming to Honda, ask for a Conquest discount. Again, if you don't ask for it, you don't get it. And any salesperson that says, I don't know what you're talking about, which I hear a lot, what you come back with them is, let me talk to your sales manager, because the sales manager will know about Conquest and loyalty discounts. So make sure you ask. They want your business. The dealers want your business. The brands want your loyalty, and they're happy to work with you to try and get you into their vehicles. Just some good savings tips along the way as we make our way out to Accord, New York. Yeah, we're out in the middle of nowhere. There's not even cell service we're out so far, which is fine with me because my phone seems to never-ending text and ring. But this is a nice way also to see what the car can do, how it handles, how it rides, and the brakes. And so far we're seeing massive improvements over the previous generation. And it looks good too. We stopped at Saunderkills Farms. This is the oldest known farm in North America. From 1620, still functioning the whole entire time. Saunderkills Farms is outside of Accord, New York, so we brought the Accord here. The history of the Saunderkills Farm is family owned and operated for over 12 generations. Originally granted to Lieutenant Hendrik Shoemaker as payment for military service, the family's original 300 acres of prime round-out bottomland has been continuously farmed since 1680. It's one of the few farms in the nation that have received the rare Tri-Centennial Award from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. So is this Accord, New York?
No. In the town of Rochester, it is called Accord, New York. And it's because there was so much discord, they named it Accord.
Our last stop before going into Accord is the Friends of Historic Rochester Museum. It's a local organization dedicated to preserving the historic and cultural heritage of the town of Rochester, a rural community in Ulster County, New York, located in the hamlet of Accord, New York. One last stop as we make our way into the hamlet of Accord, we found the Palentown Schoolhouse. It's a classic one-room schoolhouse that operated for nearly 100 years, starting in 1860 to 1955. It's in rural Ulster County, New York, in the town of Rochester. Because the school has been owned by the town continuously, it remains intact both inside and out. Old-fashioned teacher and student desks, as well as the original 300-pound school bell. We have reached the Accord Market. As we have learned, it is not called Accord like in Honda Accord, but we like to think of it as a Honda Accord, like Mustang, Oklahoma, Silverado, California, or all the wonderful places around this country that happen to be named after car brands or car models. The Accord Market, or we call it the Accord Market, is very famous because it's in the brochure from 1977 from Honda, and they did shoot a bunch of photos of the car from that time. So we are here with the 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid. Check out the reviews. We've done both the non-hybrid and the hybrid, so you can get a full deep dive details. These vehicles start at about $28,000, go up to about $38,900, so you have a selection of Honda Accords that could be in your garage. If you have additional questions about our trip or about the Honda Accord, put them down in the comments below. We'd be more than happy to answer them. If you'd like to support our channel, you can buy me a cup of coffee. The link for that is down below, as well as for the website, the social media, and the podcast. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.